Okay, so very quickly, I just want to go through basically how the chain splitter works. This is the set I've got, basically description of everything that's in here. If I open it up, you can see the contents. I'll just name all the parts now because I'm bound to fluff it up when I'm actually doing the description for the chain splitting. But you have the main body, this big chunk here. Handle, there's a lever. There are the different press pins. These are what press the rivets out. These three here are the three different guides for these three press pins. There's a guide and a press pin actually in here, and then this bolt that runs through the body here is called the alignment bolt. Okay. And then the last things we've got here, you can see these three here are the part of the riveting tools, and these plates, one is a pressure plate to push on the front face of the new link, and one of them is to hold it on the back to hold it square, while you actually use these to flare the ends of the new link that's coming through like a rivet. Okay, again, what I'll do is I'll put pictures so that you can actually look at the parts and how they work. I've also got a set of instructions here, and I'll post an image of these here so you can read through it, so it might give you a better idea of how it actually all works. But basically, what you can see here, I've got an old piece of chain, and you can see here that I've ground down one of the rivets that hold the links together. So if you imagine that this is on the bike, so basically you'll find the master link and you'll do the same thing. You just grind the head down until it's flush. You then take the main part here and we'll screw this back. Now you can see the pin that's in here. Okay. What you need to do is, depending on what size chain it is you're going to be replacing, will determine which of these pins that you're going to use. The pin, so if I just take out, so this is the largest pin, for example. If I take this, you can see that that will pass through, but it can be a little bit tight trying to go through the hole on the actual outside link. So as I can say, as you can see here, it's very difficult to see, but if I were to put this next to where the rivet is, I don't know if you might just be able to see the outline of the rivet. It's a very, very snug fit. So I took the next pin down in size, knowing that it was slightly smaller than the rivet. Okay, and that's the pin that's in there now. When you do change the pins, make sure that you use the correct pin guide in the end here, so that the pin doesn't move one way or the other when you're tightening up. Okay, I'll just take this apart so you can see, as I say, we've got the body. This is the main body of the tool, and inside here, if we actually unscrew this part, what you have inside is you have a ball bearing, you have a pin and a spring. Now just notice there's like a little dimple in the end of this bolt or this screw. We've got the ball bearing, we've got the pin, and we've got the spring. Okay, so when we come to use the tool, I think the spring's a bit squashed here. So once you've selected the pin that you actually want, you put the spring on the pin, So you put the spring on the pin, and we drop that in. Make sure that the pin drops through. Okay, you know it's not trapped in there. Then we drop the ball bearing in, and just looking down, make sure that it's located. And I'll just show you that on the end of each of the pins, you've also got a little round indentation. And what this is for is, the ball bearing sits in between, in the indentation on both the pin and the screw or the bolt here. And what happens is then when you tighten this up, when the bottom of the screw hits the ball bearing, then all the transmission, all the force is transmitted through, directly through the pin down the center, regardless of what angle the force is at. It's just one of those mechanical things. I think the last time I saw it, it was used in something like a brake servo. Anyway, so to use the tool, once you've selected the pin, you can see now I'm pushing on the pin there and it's not going back. I unscrew this screw until the pin is either at least flush or 1 or 2 millimeters depressed. So you can see it's just, you can just see it's in there. Yeah, just slightly below the surface of the guide. Okay, so how it works is the reverse side of the rivet here, there, that sits in this hole that you can see here. Okay, so you would fit this over the rivet like so, and you can see you've got these cut out and recesses on either side of the body, and that's so, if I turn it this way up so you can see, that's so that when the rivet is in place, the other rivets have got somewhere to sit so that the whole thing sits flush and it sits flat. Okay, so you present this up to the chain where the rivet is. Let's make sure the pins drop back there. Okay, all the way, and then you screw the main screw. This is what they call the alignment bolt. You make sure that you screw that all the way up, making sure that the pin is in line with the rivet, and you basically clamp the chain in between the alignment bolt and the body, making sure that the back of the rivet is sitting in this hole. Okay, what you then do is, as you're going to be requiring a bit of leverage, just put the handle into the body, and then you've got a bar here, obviously to give you a bit of leverage, and you basically start to screw the pin against the rivet, and you push the rivet out back through this hole, and it comes out, and that's basically how you split the chain. It's a bit tight, but it's going, so it is tight. Okay, so I've gone a little way now, so I'll just undo it and back it off all the way. So once we've got that all the way, let's just screw this back. And what you can see now is you can see that the pin has been pushing the rivet out, and you just continue doing that until the rivet comes out completely, and then obviously you can split the chain. Okay, so that's how it works on the chain splitter side. Now when we come to put the chain back on the bike, I'll show you how to actually use the riveting side of the tool.